heavy south plane. Places like Georgia Bowl may be accessible if you drop out early, but it's going to be tricky nonetheless. We'll see if the circle's any kinder. It might just decide we go for a Zaki circle. That would be quite a turn up for the books. But we're getting into the final games of the opening weekend. Let's get it underway.
I mean, for me, it's T1, the T1 Valdez fight. I don't know, it depends on the fact that how long does T1 and Valdez want to spend in the air. And then, shall we both get some vehicles as well and make our way over for our final box fight? I don't think it's happening, honestly. We'll see, though.
We will have to wait and see. Out early, you've got Reject Scarlet down on near Primorsk. You've got No Choice Team as well dropping out somewhere around Quarry. We'll see if they want to send a little bit further towards Gatka, but they might have some competition there with Team Secret moving in.
Lipovka is free. Synergy are not playing in this game. That's usually their favoured drop spot, so anyone can go over that side, get a decent showing going afterwards. I mean, it depends where the circle really does go. If it heads off to the east, Lipovka will be a really strong spot. You kind of have to decide now. Morph going down into Milta. I know Milta, watching that first Arango game, was a severely contested hotspot. Okay, this is... I don't know what's going on anymore. What is that?
Look at that. What is that? I didn't mean it, Circle Gods. I didn't actually mean a Zaki circle. Please, be kind, be nice. But that might mean that we might see some more vehicles being acquired early and just sending out to places like George, like towards that shooting range even, and moving up to Severny. Definitely going to be important locations, but you've got features like Everest as well, and that sort of area of the map that are going to be crucial.
You know, I don't actually mind the circle whatsoever in terms of play here, because I don't think many teams at all in the East League have actually even headed up towards Hospital, Georgia Pole, shooting range. I think there was only one time that we saw a team go up to Severny side. I think it was King of Gamers. So, you know, so far this is going to force teams into maybe unfamiliar areas that they're not super comfortable in. TSM Entity, they're going to take Yasnaya early. Nice position to just send themselves forward, springing over towards Severny, or even trying to find a little bit of scouting grounds from Stalba. But yeah, most teams are going to have to get a shifty on. BTR back in the game, looking to make something happen. This team has pretty ridiculously good rotations. It's what they're mainly known for. But they're heading farm, split loot to begin with, so trash loot is not going to be great for them. I wonder how quickly we'll see them move up.
It's true, you know, the trash loot, it didn't go well for them in the first Erangel of the day, but to be fair, this time around, they're not as crunched. All the teams to the north of them are just going to be sending away straight away. You've seen both T1 and Valdez the Murder. They are actually going to Rozhok. Okay.
Okay. They're not giving it up, you know. They've got the boxing gloves on. It's time to go. And T1 already going for the uppercut, sending Valdez away with themselves. But T1 over the side, you know, there might even be another fight coming their way.
Ding, ding. They're getting their bell rung right now. Valdez the Murder get away from the fight, luckily for them. But I don't think T1 want to let sleeping dogs lie here. They are going to try and push on forwards and actually take control of the eastern side of Rozhok.
Almost.
Goodness me. It's absolutely crazy here. A lot of the things that we said we didn't want to happen, happened. A lot of the things we said we did want to happen have also happened. You know, it seems like,
yeah,
I don't know, it's this hodgepodge of
good and bad.
Of curveballs.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? You take the good with the bad, and that's what it is. The PUBG Mobile player is taking the good and the bad, and Goddard is significantly taking the bad here, whilst T1, they're running with the good.
Down for the count. One of the players from Valdez the Murder will have to try and pick it up, but Missile! He gets beamed, JCS.
One of the interesting things about this circle, though, John, specifically with the plane path, is that everyone has to move up towards the northwest in like this almost a line. So I like this rotation from Nova Godlike that you can't see on your screens yet, but they've actually head all the way up to Georgia Pole for the time being. And they know that's very easy to get into. They can start controlling this area purely because they know that every other team is going to be coming from the southwest part of the island. They won't have to worry about anyone being a shooting range or Zaki just as of yet. And they should be able to efficiently control the bridges. There's Team Secret as well as No Chance team heading towards Everest, just posturing around the area, and Reject Scarlet will be making their way on the western coast. But it's T1 still fighting versus Valdez here, John.
Oh, Martin has the off angle against ZZP, but it's the nades from JCZ who will be able to take him down on the outside, flushed out as well. T1 lose a player, and their fight for Rozhok rages on, but they're down to 3.
Now T1 can either give this one up now and pretty much secure themselves as not being the victors of Rozhok, and it'd be a little bit tougher for them to hold on to it during league play, or they can continue to force this fight. But Orange Rock, they're in the wings over on the western side. I'd say around 500, about a kilometer out here, so they're pretty close to them. I mean, Valdez and T1, they've got to be careful here because Orange Rock is a team that will put you down very, very quickly. They've been playing very damn well here in the opening weekend so far. It's a good start for them.
Currently, the top fraggers in the tournament as well. 40 kills over the last 7 games they've played. We'll see if they're able to rack up a few more. Currently sat 1 game ahead of RRQ Athena, who are also in this game. So we'll see who's going to be able to take that crown. And I think that's, you know, that's quite a lot of clout. They were talking about it on the World League West as well, that a lot of importance from these days is going to be clout. Right, it's going to be a fear factor.
Clout gamers, dude. Clout
moving
gamers.
forwards, clout gaming. We should set that up. That sounds like a great org. But
it's already been done.
Has it? Oh, probably. Yeah. To be honest, probably not the first ones to have that idea. But there is something to be said for that fear factor, right? If you get that top fragger spot, people are going to know about it. People are going to know your name, and they're going to be struck. They're going to have fear struck into their hearts if you pop up in the kill feed near them.
I mean, if you're able to hold down to that spot, people know where you are coming from. They'll be a little bit more wary about taking fights with you, and you might get free rotations out of that. It's something not to scoff at whatsoever. Right now, we're starting to see teams start to, you know, really have that come to their advantage. I mean, BTR right now, they're holding the bridge side, and you'd be almost certain that Megastars and Team IND are going to head over to the west rather than try and deal with the bridge camp that BTR is currently setting up.
3 things are certain in life: blank, death, taxes, and T1 and Valdez the Murder fighting over Rozhok. It's never going to stop, apparently. JCZ with the overlook over towards a couple of these players. I think they know where they are vaguely, and they're certainly getting their scout out. You can see the hawk on the shoulder, going to be giving them all the info they need.
And T1, though, so you may have taken one of our players, but we do have still Rozhok. That is ours. You're on the outer skirts of Rozhok, which means you didn't technically win this fight yet. You will have to pretty much dig the shovel in and get rid of us that way. But currently, we're gonna stay strong. Our roots are centered here.
You do send all the way up north to Severny. They have the northern flanks. Down all the way in the south, still on the Sosnovka military base, you've got Team IND, and you've got Megastars as well, who are going to be near Novo, just out to the west of it. Bigitron now starting to mount up and make their move away from farm. They'll start to make those rotations. Generally, not too much conflict, but around this central part of the map, around the island in the middle of the river, just out to the west of it, you've got several teams vying for control of these crossings. Yeah,
currently that's one of the big storylines in this game, is that everyone's had to move up from the southwest, but there's also this big river that's cutting up a lot of the landmass at the moment, and it depends like which kind of compounds you want to take on either side. You want to go for a 2-2 split early on, control that better, but it's difficult to know where exactly everyone is. This is that beautiful shot from T1 Missile, but then there's also an insane shot straight back from JCZ.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'd say Valdez and T1 very evenly matched here in Rozhok. And like you say, John, the fight continues.
They won't let it go, will they? They're just going to hold on to this one. Youngjin goes to the heel. JCZ not quite able to get the knock from up the hill, but they have left him very split blank, and that could be a risk.
Next circle. Hits the screen for you guys. It will be directly centered, so we still have a river in the middle as well as that small little island. I mean, this is difficult though, because now there's a lot of options that you can have for yourselves. You can have the little compounds towards the southern side of the island with the gas stations that have decent compounds around them. That's Youngjin going down, JCZ extremely low, but there's not really many teammates around from T1 to come pick him up. Valdez is doing a really good job to hold down all of these areas, and Youngjin does get flushed. So Valdez coming out very much on top right now, John.
Yeah, there was no way they were going to be able to get him back up, so T1 down to 2 players, and they might just want to leave Rozhok alone. They might try and fall back off of that fight. Not really going so well for them right now, but will Valdez the Murder let them? Or are they going to stamp their mark on Rozhok? They're going to, you know, firmly plant their flag and say, this is our drop spot. You try come here again, you get wiped.
I'll not call Valdez the Murder for nothing. They finished the job, okay? T1, I doubt, are going to get away from this one lightly, at least. I think that Valdez have made a very, very convincing claim of Rozhok. I doubt we'll see T1 here for a little while at least. RRQ, though, they're poised towards the southern side of the circle at the moment, ready to cross at a moment's notice. Damn. Seidan even taking shots, and this is what's happening. Valdez is just creating a ring around them. There's Gil, though, taking a nice little shot over towards, I believe that was Team Secret.
He's going to be able to get a knock as well. That's a control over the river crossing just out to the northwest of, out to the east of Georgia Pole. So they're trying to control that one. They know now where Seidan is, and this is going to be the push coming through from Valdez, the murder, dropping the smokes out early and forcing them to come close. This is risky. They know they have a lot of overlook there. The nade in, going to isolate those positions, and the smoke maybe dissuading the push, waiting for it, but it's going to bide their time. Missile strikes from the sidelines. Goddard does go down. So they're one less player to worry about. 41 on the push. Seidan still just hiding in this bedroom. The nade's not quite connecting just yet. Martin vaulting up and trying to get some info, some sort of information as to which room he's hiding in, where he's going to be.
I mean, this has kind of flashbacks to KK Skur moments in that dreadful 1v3. I mean, the smokes are out. Seidan drops back down again. But these smokes are obscuring so much vision. They drop away now. Oh, that is risky business now for Seidan. Does he jump out the window? But Valdez will definitely have his number if he drops.
It is a risk, to be sure, but they have the roof control now. They should know where Seidan is. They should know he's in the building. And there's an off angle coming in from somewhere, and he's going to be pushed in, forced to take the fight, goes for the close range spray, and he is finally going to go down. Valdez, cool, calm, calculated, will be able to finish that one out, but they lost Goddard in the process.
One more player, though. It is Missile, who started the fight strong, but the Missile starts to fizzle out now. See if he can continue this one. So it would be a 1v3, but Team IND, you can see them off in the distance. Now they're trying to stake claim here. Next circle about to pop on our screens. We'll see where it does go. GXR, Celts, we saw them do a decent job. Wow, okay, that is a big shift up to the northern side. Yudu Gank, though, they seem to lasso the circle and pull it towards them over the last two games.
Yeah, they've been eating their magnets for breakfast. They've managed to get that one on board. Missile now in the closing moments, I imagine, of his game, barring spectacular turn-ups. Will be able to go for one. Nope, not even that. And it's less Predator Missile right now and more foot pump rocket.
Yeah, and it drops the floor quite quickly as well. Now, let's take a look at all the teams, because everyone's suiting up in their vehicles here. We've got Megastars making their way up to the northern side. Literally everyone on our map screens is in vehicles right now, desperately trying to find some place in this northern circle. I mean, there's a lot of woods available, but not many compounds whatsoever. So you can be sure that there will be a lot of fighting coming on our screens very, very shortly.
Everybody rotating. Mega take the first knock from Morph there on these rotations, but it's traded back. No, they are just going to get the flush out, and more kills will start to be racked up. You can see on the southwestern side of this next circle, Team Secret, RRQ, as well as No Chance Team, who are sailing on by, are going to be moving through this area of the map. But it's Reject Scarlet who are going really unnoticed here, Blank. They're all the way out on the west. No one's really going to know where they are.
No, they've kind of leapfrogged up from the yellows on the western side now, making their way to all the way on the northern side of the map. I really do like this. They know that there shouldn't be many teams who have taken up residence towards Severny. Everyone dropped towards the south side of the map in the first place. So they can take control of like the valley area towards the top side, maybe a couple of these smaller compounds. They'll be pretty happy with themselves. Everyone else, on the other hand, is just looking for a little ditch, maybe a rock to hide behind. You can see Nova Godlike as well as Orange Rock. They're currently in the woods area trying to hold it out there.
Marvy gets knocked as well, playing up close. As Nova Godlike are taking fights on several fronts and actually will end up eliminating No Chance Team. They go down in 14th Blank, and TSM Entity, they're starting to chime in as well. A lot of fights. This is a chaotic rotation set.
Massively. Everyone's just had to try and find somewhere to go, somewhere to find residence and a little bit of area they can find a bit of resilience for themselves going forward. Yudu Gank, though, they had to pick the litter. They're currently on the northeastern side. Reject Scala, on the other hand, they have pretty much the entirety of the northwest circle to themselves. RQ on top of the loot box. We have BTR on our screens who have kind of leisurely made their way into this circle and navigated their way through all of these teams. I don't think there was even any shots sent towards them.
Fair enough. They've managed to sneak on through, make sure they've winded their way through the battlefield. But to be fair, it's found them a lot of success, Blank. They're currently sat top of the tables, 7 matches played, an average of 15.1 points per game. They had a little bit of a slip towards the start of the day, being really carried by yesterday's performance, but we'll see if they're able to close out in style. Maybe they'll be able to get that third chicken dinner on the board. Only time will tell. There's plenty of teams going to be vying for this next zone. It's pretty central, but there's a lot of teams on that southeastern side that are going to be crunched together.
Yep. This next circle, like you say, fairly central here. It'll keep Orange Rock, Yudu Gank in, but there's like a nice hill line across from the western side of this circle. So a lot of teams will be fighting uphill, especially Yudu Gank if it heads off to the west once again. On our screen, we've got Nova Godlike, though, RQ just directly behind them.
They've got quite a nice spot here. They have occupied the plain trench, gouged out of the ground. And they have got quite some decent sight lines to be getting on with. A lot of control on the southwestern side. RRQ may be looking to try and push on forwards and move them away from that position. Outside of the circle, you've got IND. They want to try and push on forwards as Biggitron just send on away. They've made a massive bold rotation here, Black.
Yeah, hugely bold rotation straight up towards the top side of the hill. So they're feeling pretty good about themselves. And surprisingly, again, no one's even taken any shots at themselves. They just seem to be able to shoot themselves out like a bullet, and no one's able to catch up to them. There's TSM Entity taking shots towards Morph. Yudu Gank will have a read on this position, as will Orange Rock from across the way. But this circle cannot contain this many teams at 13 and 49 alive. It is just not feasible. So the fights will be coming through thick and fast from now on.
Oh, Jurek Seltz taking a fight with Valdus the Murder. The Kings of Rozhok might just come a cropper. They keep on pushing forwards into this one. Rox from the sidelines, finding those shots on Johnny. He's down already. The rest of Valdus the Murder isolated away. Don't think they're going to be able to get there in time. The question is, do GXR Celts commit to this? Because they're right on the edge of the circle. They know that there's going to be teams just over the hill and Orange Rock. They're aggressive. They like to take these. They can certainly take these third parties.
Right now, it feels like Orange Rock is playing much more passively, though. They know that as soon as they give away their position right now, a lot of teams will be looking at them. Currently, they have the element of surprise on their side. Armjoe will be going down very shortly. He cannot survive any longer. GXR Celts just looking to confirm that kill. They'll get it anyway. Orange Rock, though, like I said, just biding their time. But it's RRQ versus Valdus. JCZ trying to make their way through, but RRQ just completely picked them apart here, John.
Wow, yeah, JCZ as well, just getting dipped. As RRQ able to pick up the pieces of that fight. They might have won out Rozhok, but they go down in 13th. And they'll have to try and pick it up into the regular season. That's their opening weekend done, but there's still 12 teams remain.
At least they claimed the only crown that mattered to them, which was Rozhok indeed. So they will remain kings for the time being.
For now.
For now.
GXR Celts taking a little bit of punishment on the south side. You've got Orange Rock just over the way. And you've got Team IND and Team Secret on either side of them. It's going to be a difficult push for them. They'll have to rely on where this next circle goes. We'll wait for the shift to come on through. Team IND, though, they're under a lot of pressure as well. This TSM Entity are taking some fights as well, just to the south of the shooting range.
Oh, circle goes very heavily south here. Slayer with a dirty little shot from the sniper onto GXR. That is a long-range shot as well. Looking for another.
Oh.
Okay, hits the body. Will not finish off the player, but GXR under
down.
heavy damage. Kratos moving out straight away.
They want to try and run this one down. 2 players down for GXR Celts, but they're putting pressure onto Kratos. Goes down first far too often. I don't know if he wants to do the same. He's just wiggling back and forth in the grass behind his buggy, trying to stay up as the smoke blooms.
Matrix that one very nicely. Going to get a replay here of Valdus versus Missile. We'll just take him out. He's done for there. Kratos healing up behind his vehicle. We have a few more cheeky replays on the screen from RQ when they just completely remove Valdus from the game there. RQ still continuing to make their push into the circle, hesitant to make their way up to the north side, so they actually have a decent insertion point on the western side of the southern side of the circle.
Reject Scarlet will be going for the fight, it seems, with Biggitron. They're sending nades their way, but they don't quite have the same sort of luck. There is the Megastars as well across the way to worry about. So they do want to go aggressive here. Zuxi dropping out those nades. They're moving those vehicles. Do Reject Scarlet want to continue to take this fight when they know that they're going to have to move again?
There's Ernie, though, taking shots onto Nova Godlike. I think they might have just removed them from the game.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, RQ are removing people just instantly. Now, Luxy here with his SKS here, taking shots onto Megastars. Knows that they're going to be a pain for them later on if they allow them to make that rotation.
The kill feed's just about catching up there as RRQ did eliminate Nova Godlike. Team IND taking fights as well with the remainder of GXR Celts, who are really down on their luck right now. Down to one player. It's just MJ and Nade coming through as well, doing a lot of work for Morph.
Yeah, and that's TSM Entity actually out. And now Megastars fighting versus Yudu. And I think a lot of that for TSM Entity comes down to just taking too many fights in the beginning. Don't get me wrong, I think they're an extremely skilled team, but they don't need to be taking this many fights. Perhaps that will change into league play.
Oh, another nade!
Okay.
Jumper goes down. Drax did get the heal off in time and will be the last standing now. Only one player to res, but they are just being bombarded right now. Blank of those vehicles, they're taking some punishment as well if they don't get up in time. Okay, here comes the crash. It's going to be sending out wide. Vex, he's going to fall. Drax tries to hold on for another. Oh my goodness me. He's able to hold it down, and you do, Gang, stay alive.
Oh my lord, Drax was insane there. It was so fast, just snappy. But let's talk about one team who just has the circle favored. It's Orange Rock. They've done the complete opposite of TSM Entity. TSM Entity, they've got the skill, they've got the fragging power, as of Orange Rock, but Orange Rock been so much more patient inside this circle. They will have to start to group together a little bit soon, but right now they're doing fantastic. We've got Gil on our screen, and now it's Orange Rock taking a fight with the big boys of the lobby.
Absolutely. Orange Rock 2 kills so far. Biggitron none to speak of, and with 2 of them getting down, they're going to have to take some time to get those reses, to get that healing on board before they take this next fight, Blank. They've got a lot of teams near them to worry about. You've got Yudu off the back of a weakening fight as well, out to their east, so they'll have to be worried about their left flank moving forwards. But over the hill, it's really the dominant force of the zone. It's Orange Rock, but Marvi does get taken down. Morph moving in.
And Marvy's out there usually as the scout, though, of the team, so he'll be providing information, but Orange Rock very much split up, and it's pretty much just Gil versus Zuxi and the team of BTR, and he goes down next, so BTR starting to make their push into the circle. Orange Rock got something to be feared of.
Yudu Gang eliminated there, trying to make the mad dash. They won't be able to get it done. Ryzen, Luxy both chiming in, but Micro Boy does get knocked in the meantime as well on this bold push that they have to make over the top of the hill. Orange Rock trying to hold down the center, but they're being shot down from all sides. Biggitron still have plenty of players left standing, but Luxy gets knocked. They're going for the res, and they are going to be able to get at least one up. The question is, do they have the time? Do they have the alleviation of pressure necessary to get everyone back to full?
Well, it's very easy for them here because as soon as one shot comes out, another team starts taking damage. Snacks actually took the fight over towards BTR, but immediately Morph has descended upon Team IND after they shot only a few shots out. RRQ also taking heavy damage. G9 making a sprint across the field. He just wants to make as far up the leaderboard as possible. Ernie is definitely going down here. Now we see Morph with 10 points, 10 kills on the board, 4 players alive. Team Secret with 4, also 2 points, so only 2 kills, but they've made it very much towards the end here, right on the southern side of the circle, just barely next to Team IND.
One player for Morph has been knocked, but they've had one hell of a game so far. RRQ trying to push in from the west side as Biggitron with 3 players will be trying to make their claim to the circle. 5 teams remain, Blank.
So it's IND, Trans and Slayer. Slayer and Trans, both very good players from South Asia, hoping to make this one happen versus the full squad of 4 from Team Secret. Next circle will be coming in soon. We'll see where it pushes people, but BTR currently have a very good hold on this one. Circle will just be popping ever so quickly now. It goes directly center, so everyone has to continue to fight for presence within this zone.
Team Secret are going to have to try and crawl their way on closer, but Biggitron have them in their sights. Yuhai is going to get knocked, and into the buggy they go. They crash on towards the UAS, and we'll be getting a little bit more Okay, back for their buck nades coming through from Bigatron. And another nade, oh, huge! From G9, sends it out from the bush. 2 players from Team Secret down, and it's just eye shots left. Eye shots remains to try and stay alive for Team Secret. G9, oh no!
He survives!
He survives, no way! No way did he get away with that.
G9, that is the most explosive bush I've ever seen in my life. Okay, survives that one for a little bit longer. BTR, though, currently with a free, but Morph, they've got a really good say into this circle. BTR desperately trying to move up. Jexy with a perfect off angle. Zuxi behind the tree, but surely he spots out Jexy soon.
That was a huge third party coming in for Bigatron to actually allow RRQ to stay alive here. We'll see what G9 is able to do with that gift he has been given. 4 teams now, 9 players. Morph playing up close and personal. Zuxi is going to allow the reload, but he swings out wide, and a sliver of HP phases him not a jot.
No, the HP doesn't even seem to matter to Zuxi at the moment. He just makes it happen, gets it done. It's not about the nerves anymore. It's just about the skill for this guy. We'll finish off Jexy next, and G9 still waiting in the wings. Team IND still in this game also. IND have been flying under the radar recently. I think they're doing extremely well. They got this, I think it was the 3rd place on Miramar, and now here towards the top 4 on Erangel. They're doing very, very well, John.
See if they're able to get closer towards that chicken dinner now. They've got 4 kills on the board. But there's plenty of heavy competition.
What does this remind you of, John? BTR fighting uphill. Never better combo than that. I just think they're going to make it happen. You feel it in your bones, you know?
Absolutely. I'm ready for it. I'm ready and waiting. Morph, 1 player left standing now. They had 4 not too long ago, but they've already got 10 kills. They've made it to top 4. They're going to be having a really, really solid game to close out this opening weekend blank.
Everyone right on the edge of the circle other than Team IND, who currently hold that tree as well as 1 vehicle. Zay will see this one. Starts to spot out towards him. Does he take shots or does he wait? If he waits, potentially he can get that 2nd place, but he knows there's another player also here.
10 kills for RRQ as well. So they have a similar story to Morph now.
Oh, G9. He's happy with that circle. That'll keep him in the game for a little bit longer. Zay taking shots towards Team IND again, John.
Pretty tricky, snakes in the grass, but Trance gets spotted out. Ryzen, that's no problem for him. Just beams it down, gets the headshot, takes a little bit of damage in response. Only has 1 first aid remaining. They should know where Slayer is now. Question is, will they be able to get that flush? Bigatron with 6 kills. Continue to push through, but RRQ from the sidelines. No way! G9 able to strike, get an extra point, but he does get eliminated. RRQ down in 4th.
G9 goes down, flying high on the leaderboard like a G6 there. Team IND looking to make some happen. Extremely good explosion from BTR.
Luxy able to take him down. 2 teams remain. It is the twins from Bigatron Red Aliens to fight off against 1 player from Morph. The solo, the last remaining survivor for Morph, who had such a dominant position, but so many teams vying for that control, proved to be just too much. Couldn't quite make it happen. Luxy, Zuxi now, controlling the area, looking for those shots, want to shut it down. Zay crawling forwards, will get spotted out, and it's Bigatron to finish as they started, taking the chicken dinner.